Hey there, it's Jenny, and it's been a long day, but I'm still going to get on here and talk about the importance of finding your inspiration and having a balance. Um, there's different sources of inspiration. Today, I attended a big conference for my church, and that actually gave me some really good guidance and inspiration for just me personally and also the management of my family and some things about my business. But um, I think it's really important for us, no matter what we're doing, to keep filling our cup of inspiration and just things that lift us up. And yes, we can get some of that out of like business trainings and things like that. Just, of course, there's lots of that out there where we can get new ideas and new skills, how to do different things. But we also need to do something for our soul or our spirit, right? Um, as far as lifting our own minds and learning how we can lift others and be a light in the world and empower others as we are learning to empower ourselves, right? And to change our situation. There's lots of sources that can help us to learn how to do that better, right? So, I do love my church. I feel like I get a lot of inspiration there. And, I read scriptures. I believe in Jesus Christ. And I like to learn more about him and his life. So that does inspire me a lot. But there's also a lot of people, even doing YouTube videos or whatever. Prince EA. I get a lot of inspiration from his stuff. Brian Tracy. I started listening to Brian Tracy when I was a newlywed. Somehow I found one of his, it's old. It was on a tape cassette, an audio program that had maybe like 10 different cassettes in the program, just how to be more productive in your life or how to use your time more wisely. I can't remember even what it was, but I remember listening to those tapes and feeling so inspired and feeling like I had some new tools to be a better person. And there's lots and lots of those kind of tools out there. And so you really have to go by your gut to think about what you need and what to focus on, because there's just so much that can be overwhelming, right? Um, and so I think it's really good to maybe pick a topic to focus on once a month. And you don't even have to pay for, inspiration or training. There's so much online now that it's a matter of having a plan and looking for the specific things that you need. So I do recommend, finding the information that helps you organize your life. If you're not organized in your life at all, it's really hard to be productive and to accomplish stuff. So if you really study millionaires, people who have made a lot of money, top thought leaders and influencers, if you look at what they do in their life, like usually they have a schedule, they have a morning routine, they eat more on the healthy side, different things like that. And it took me a number of years to learn some of those principles and start exercising them and doing them in my life regularly so that I could have control over my life. And I'm still not there. I'm still not perfect. But I'm a lot farther along than I used to be, right? And so luckily, you don't have to pay big money. There's a lot of really wonderful, free training and inspiration out there. So Brian Tracy was one where I started out listening to him, and I didn't hear about him for a long time, but actually just over the last couple of months, I kind of checked in and looked him up, and I saw his name somewhere, and he's still inspiring people and teaching people how to be organized with their time and how to be productive, more productive with their time, and how to set their priorities and different things. So he does charge for some of his stuff, um, but a lot of times nowadays you can at least get something free, or you can find some of their writings somewhere that you can read. So there's lots of good stuff. So you can start with doing a search on YouTube, looking for inspiration or education about a certain topic, like how to be more productive with your time. When you do those kind of searches, there's lots of great stuff that comes up, and it's so interesting to just focus on one thing and see different people's, interpretation or recommendations, and watch a few different things, right? Because now there's a lot of it without a cost out there on the internet that you can find. And so if you start watching those, you can write down kind of the top ideas that you get from watching a few different videos of different people on a specific topic. And then write down what you're going to try to implement. And do that for a month. Watch some videos, write down the things, and then start doing them. If you can do them for 3 weeks out of the month, then a lot of times they become a habit, and it can be so life-changing. Things like, drinking more water, I don't know, things that give you energy, ways to manage your time. I remember, 10, 12 years ago when I started blogging, there was a lady, and her name was the Fly Lady. And she talked about the basics of organizing your time and what to do first if you're like a stay-at-home mom. And I just remember one lesson that stood out to me from her, and that was, if you just don't know where to start, you're at home, you've got a messy house, and you just don't know where to start. Start by cleaning your kitchen sink. Just clean your kitchen sink first thing in the morning. If you can, I mean, yes, you want to like do your self-care and everything, get dressed, drink some water, those kind of things in the morning. But when you're done with that and you're ready for the day, that's the first thing you can do. Clean your sink so it looks nice, and then you can feel like, hey, I accomplished that today. My sink looks good. This is like a main part of our house, right? And that just stuck with me all these years, her inspiration and just simple idea of how to get started and feel good about the day and feel like you already accomplished something because you cleaned your sink, right? So yeah, I do that too. I go in my kitchen, I make sure the counters are clean, and breakfast is put away, whatever. And then you can feel like you can tackle your day and you can do some other things, right? So so I totally took the day off today, and I did a video on that. I did a video on whether we should work through the weekend. Sometimes we feel like in our businesses, we have to go, 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 like as much as we can. But we have to do something like fill our cup of inspiration. If you've ever read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, that's another amazing classic. And one of the habits is to sharpen the saw. So you can spend hours trying to cut down a tree, but if your saw is dull, then it's going to take forever and you're going to be so tired. But if you just take a few minutes to sharpen your saw, you could get done with that task so fast. And it's the same in our businesses. We need to take time to fill our cup. And whether that means inspiration, motivation, new skills that can help us progress in our businesses, that's important. We should always be up-leveling our skills, learning new things, learning what we can do to move forward, right? If we're trying to be an entrepreneur and support ourselves or support our family, What can we learn next? And now, yes, it can be a little overwhelming, but there's so much out there on the web that's free. And it's mainly just time, putting the time into learning it. And so that's another thing I do with when it comes to my spirit, my soul, is praying or asking your higher power, what is the next thing that I need to do or I need to learn? And then search with a purpose and see what you feel most drawn to, who you feel most drawn to, and then watch some of their training, their inspiration, their content, and see if you can get what you need from that. And that has served me really well, especially over the last few years. I feel like I have been guided to specific things that really helped me to move my business forward. So remember to take the time to sharpen your saw and to do the things that are going to help you personally develop into a better person, and also be able to build your business into a strong business with recurring income, something that's going to support you and maybe your family. That's what we want, right? And so this is just one way that we can do that successfully.